여러분 반갑습니다. I'm Kwon-so-wa and this is K-Culture Dive. Join us in exploring everything in Korean culture, from K-entertainment to AI news, K-culture in photos, and we have an in-depth discussion with a physical geographer today to talk about World Heritage. And with that, let's dive in. Joining us this Wednesday is Walter Lee. Walter, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, Soa, and hello to everyone joining us on K-Culture Dive today. I'm Walter Lee, here to co-host and bring you the latest in K-entertainment stories.
Okay, Walter, our first K-enter story today is about a Korean movie that I hope to see soon. It is Hope, which is celebrating its opening day today.
It is indeed, Soa. So yes, director Hong-jin's blockbuster Hope is definitely going to have a massive box office debut. How do I know this? It drew nearly 600,000 advanced ticket reservations on its opening day, July 15th, today, reinforcing its status as the year's most anticipated Korean film. Now, according to the Korean Film Council's integrated ticketing system, as of 7 a.m. of today, July 15th, Hope ranked #1 in advance reservations with a 68.1% reservation rate and approximately, like I mentioned, around 600,000 tickets sold. The figure marks the highest advance ticket sales for any film released in Korea this year. Produced on a budget of more than 50 billion Korean won, over around $33.5 million US dollars, Hope is one of the largest Korean film projects you'll see up until now.
Wow, hopefully it's going to meet our expectations. And next up, let's talk about very big news on JYP and two of his or the agency's top groups becoming part of a big voting committee.
This is a really great story, So founder of JYP Entertainment, JYP or Park Jin-young, and JYP groups Twice and Stray Kids have been selected as voting members of the Recording Academy in the US. Now, what does this mean? Now, the Recording Academy is the organization behind the Grammy Awards, the obviously most prestigious music awards in the US. Now, voting members are selected from music creators, including artists, songwriters, producers, and engineers. They are responsible for voting and determining Grammy Award nominees and winners. What a thing to have, really. Voting members of the Recording Academy have granted voting member status to JYP himself, including all 9 members of Twice and also all 8 members of Stray Kids. Now, the inclusion of JYP artists, JYP himself, and executives in the Recording Academy is seen as another sign of K-pop's expanding global presence and its global influence within the US music market.
What an honor indeed. And next, Walter, finally, another achievement by a boy group, Tomorrow by Together. Wait, did I say this before? It seems like a déjà vu.
Oh, yes, very good indeed. Great segue. Thank you, Sola. So, boy group Tomorrow by Together, or TXT, have achieved their 10th music video to surpass 100 million YouTube views with Deja Vu. Now, the main track from the TXT's 6th mini album, Minisode 3 Tomorrow. Now, that was released in 2024. Deja Vu is a pop track that blends genres such as trap. Now, trap is a subgenre of hip-hop, rage, which is interestingly a subgenre of trap, and emo rock. Now, the song received praise for its dream-driven narrative, striking visuals, and dynamic performance. Now, beyond their music activities, TXT have been busy also making waves in the variety entertainment industry. Their Wave original variety show, TXT's Parenting Diary, has drawn attention for showcasing the members' down-to-earth style charm. Episodes 1 through 10 have been released, with the first episode alone surpassing 4.4 million views.
All right, great entertainment news, Walter, and stick around.
Will do.
Now, Arirang, our AI anchor, is ready to report on more culture news. Arirang.
Thanks, Swa. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. The Culture Ministry joined forces with experts on Tuesday to discuss ways to further promote Korean food culture around the world. Experts called for a stronger government role, proposing measures such as nurturing world-class Korean food experts, broadening promotional channels, and boosting cooperation with overseas institutions. Minister Chu Hyung highlighted that K-food is an important medium that embodies Korean culture and spreads its appeal, pledging to actively support related efforts based on the discussions. The National Museum of Korea will extend its operating hours by 1 hour during the peak summer vacation season to accommodate an expected surge in visitors. From July 27 to August 17, the museum will stay open an extra hour, until 6 p.m. The decision follows a sharp increase in attendance, with nearly 3.8 million visitors recorded in the first half of the year. That's up almost 40% from the same period last year. A public art exhibition is now underway at Incheon International Airport, offering travelers a chance to experience contemporary Korean art. 10 artists, including video artists and sculptors, are presenting media, sculpture, and installation works across airport terminals 1 and 2, under the themes Shape of Nature, Shape of Life, and Pale Blue Dot, 2247, respectively. Now in its 5th year, the exhibition is organized by the Incheon International Airport Corporation and features works by emerging Korean public artists selected through an open competition. This year's event runs through November 14th. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
Through a single photo at a time, we take a closer look at culture in Korea. This is K-Culture in Photos. 초복, 중복, and 말복. Collectively, they're called the 복 days, 3 traditional days that mark the hottest time of the year. Today is 초복, the first of those 3 days. The character 복 literally means to bow down or lie low, symbolizing the intense summer heat. Recent heat waves have sent temperatures soaring with shimmering roads, people carrying parasols, and cooling mist sprayed along city streets. On 복 days, many Koreans enjoy 보양식 or nourishing foods believed to restore energy. One favorite is grilled eel, brushed with a sweet and savory Korean-style sauce and grilled over charcoal. Abalone is another popular choice. Whether served as abalone pot rice or simply grilled, it's considered a nutritious summer delicacy, rich in protein and minerals. If you'd rather cool down, refreshing dishes like noodles in an iced chicken broth or kongguksu noodles served in chilled soybean soup are also Korean summer favorites. We just talked about 보양식, but when it comes to 복 days, nothing is more iconic than 삼계탕. And see this long line every 복 day. Popular 삼계탕 restaurants draw huge crowds with people happily waiting in line for a bowl. As you can see here, 삼계탕 is a whole young chicken stuffed with glutinous rice, garlic, jujubes, and ginseng, slowly simmered into a rich, nourishing soup. As prices continue to rise, many communities are holding free 삼계탕 events for seniors, helping them stay healthy through the summer. And now, younger generations are giving this classic dish a fresh twist with basil 삼계탕, grilled versions, mala-flavored recipes, and even 삼계탕-shaped rice cakes for dessert. Convenience stores now also offer 보양식-inspired meals, from health-themed lunchboxes to triangular kimbap inspired by 삼계탕 and grilled eel. Even global soccer stars can have surprisingly simple favorites. Take a close look at the yellow circle here. That hair tie, it's a Korean-made product that's become a favorite of Erling Haaland, one of the world's biggest football stars. Once you notice it, you'll start spotting it everywhere, from training sessions to matches. Haaland is often seen tying up his signature long hair with the same style of hair tie. fans have even started calling it one of his signature accessories. He's even been photographed wearing colorful hair ties around his neck like a necklace before snapping selfies, showing just how much he loves them. Who knew a simple Korean hair tie could become part of a football superstar's signature look? Do you, by any chance, think sandcastles are just for kids? Think again. At Yeongyildae Beach in Pohang, world-class sand sculptures have transformed the shoreline into an open-air art gallery. This year's theme, A Giant Magic Embracing the Sea, brings beloved fairy tales like Pinocchio, Hansel and Gretel, and Alice in Wonderland to life in the sand. You'll also find sculptures celebrating the 10th Yeongyildae Sand Festival, along with works inspired by the hit K-drama Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha and Epic Gyeongju 2025, blending pop culture with local pride. And as the sun sets, the sculptures take on a whole new charm, glowing under colorful lights against the sea. These giant sand creations look almost magical. Whether it's staying healthy on book days or discovering everyday Korean items on the global stage, today's photos tell a unique story of Korea.
The 48th UNESCO World Heritage Committee session, which is taking place in Busan, is bringing together experts and government representatives from around the world to discuss the protection of humanity's most valuable heritage. Today, we're joined by Melinda McHenry, an abiotic physical geographer, associate head of school at the University of Tasmania, and chair of Cultural Landscapes, Geoheritage and World Heritage at the Australian Geoscience Council. And we'll be talking about the future of World Heritage, the importance of geoheritage, and why international cooperation matters more than ever. Dr. McHenry, welcome to the program.
Hello,
Thank
Doctor.
you.
All right, so why don't we start with an introduction of yourself and also a little bit about your work in the field of World Heritage.
So I'm an abiotic physical geographer, and that means that I look at the parts of the landscape that are non-living. And those parts of the landscape are not as well recognised in terms of conservation protection. We see them every day. We think about beautiful mountains, wonderful rivers, we have caves, we have sand dunes and all of these scenic places. But until very recently, there wasn't a really good way to be able to recognise and protect the most valuable of these. So within the context of World Heritage Areas, there is a criteria that talks about the history of the Earth. And there's another criteria that you can list a World Heritage Area for that talks about the scenic beauty of a place. But despite that, less than 1% of World Heritage Areas around the world are actually recognised for these criterion. And so as a result, some of my work and my passion comes from trying to make sure that those areas are better recognised, and also we have other ways to protect those non-living parts of our landscape.
That is wonderful, such an important role, Dr. McHenry. And you also serve as the UNESCO Chair for Geoheritage and Geoconservation. And speaking of UNESCO, I've heard you are already involved in the 48th UNESCO Committee session, World Heritage Committee session for Busan. So could you tell us how the experience has been so far? And also, what is the significance in Korea hosting this event, do you think?
So first of all, I'm within what's called a UNESCO chair network. So the chair of that network, Jose Brillo, is in Portugal, and I, along with 12 other experts around the world, contribute to recognising the goals of geoheritage conservation, including within World Heritage Areas. So as part of the work that we are doing and contributing towards the World Heritage Area Conference, which is the 50th anniversary of World Heritage Areas globally, we are trying to bring forward the initiatives of UNESCO around geoconservation and recognition of the livelihoods and cultural perspectives of people who rely on these non-living landscapes, including tourism and also agriculture.
I I see.
Yes, Doctor. I find it very interesting that, like you said, that you do, study the conservation of certain areas that are hard to, repopulate when you are based in Tasmania, one of the most luscious places in Australia. But back to UNESCO. UNESCO has been placing increasing emphasis on soil science in recent years. I mean, who better to ask than an Australian? I mean, we have the word soil in our national anthem.
We certainly do.
So why do you think the study of soils has become so important in the field of heritage conservation?
I want to talk about this for a couple of moments, if I may. Firstly, Tasmania is actually the second most geodiverse place in the world.
Wow.
And so what that means is that for every geological time period that there has been and every type of climate impact that there is, we've got a residual landscape that represents that time period within Tasmania. And that makes it not only diverse and quite luscious, as you said, from an Australian perspective, but globally it's a very, very unique place. It's so unique, in fact, that in terms of the criteria that decide whether you can be a World Heritage Area, Tasmania meets 7 of those 10 criteria. There's only one other place in the world that meets more criteria than that as a World Heritage Area. So it's a wonderful place to be able to study and to do work. That's why I am in Tasmania. I'm not originally from Tasmania. I'm honoured to be able to work there and practice my work now. And part of that research that I do is around both the things that require protection from climate change, from human impacts, from mismanagement. And in the Tasmanian Wilderness World Heritage Area, the biggest challenge is fire. We have unique soils in that area. They support unique biodiversity, both rare and endemic plants and also animal species. And if a fire came through those areas, those soils would be completely lost. So that is a significant challenge for us to make sure that those areas are understood and protected. And the other thing that I care about very deeply is making sure that we have adequate representation of geodiversity, particularly soils within World Heritage Areas. So when we're trying to look at a World Heritage Area, we're obviously trying to select the best, the areas that are most emblematic and most representative of what the world has to offer. And you must be the best of the best to satisfy the criteria within your individual cohort or the individual thing that you're trying to do. But what that can lead to in terms of broader heritage protections is an overrepresentation of some different types of things and an underrepresentation of others. And Australia in particular is a place that suffers from what we call protected area elevation bias. If there's a mountain, you are conserved. But if you grow plants as a soil, then there is a lesser likelihood that the endangered ecological community that might grow upon you still exists, or that those soils are represented in a protected area such as a World Heritage Area.
Right.
There being so many protected World Heritage Areas in Australia as well. Your expertise lies in the cultural landscapes and the geoheritage. When people hear the term World Heritage, they often think of, more like almost infrastructure, like temples and historical monuments. But geoheritage is another important part of the picture, obviously. Could you explain what geoheritage is and why it deserves more attention?
So geoheritage is the special, normally geoscientific, so we're saying the best type of this sort of rock or the best type of this type of mountain, the best volcanic process, whatever, that has both scientific and sometimes we say additional values. And those additional values can be for tourism, they can be for cultural livelihoods, and they can be for spiritual values. Australia has the longest continuously running culture of Indigenous peoples with the Australian Aboriginal peoples and nations, of which there are more than 200. And many Aboriginal nations have distinct stories about the ways in which the landscape has represented them, and the way in which they use the landscape. So geoheritage deserves more recognition, both because it has a right to exist, like we recognise the koala bear of Australia, or the wonderful creatures or the beautiful flowers have a right to exist. Geoheritage has a right to exist, but more than that, it contributes in so many ways to people's livelihoods, both economically, in terms of agriculture, in terms of mining history, mining futures, in terms of tourism, especially through UNESCO Global Geoparks, for instance, and tourism to World Heritage areas and natural areas, but also for cultural livelihoods, well-being and connection to nature.
And a couple of months ago, the Key Geoheritage Areas Korea Declaration, or in short KGA Declaration, has been unveiled. So could you tell us more about its significance and how it can contribute in the preservation of geoheritage in the future?
This was a very emotional moment for me and the others who contributed to the Key Geoheritage Areas documentation. So what we're hoping is to be able to protect at international level and recognise, and also at what we call the regional level, at the broader area at which something exists, those special values of geoheritage. So as I said, World Heritage provides us with some very, very good ways to describe some of the values, the outstanding universal values, but it doesn't cover everything. So where we might be looking for the best of the best in the world to be able to capture in a World Heritage Area right now, quite often the focus of that is on the broader context of broader nature, or as you said, broader culture, temples, monuments and things like this. Allowing a specific and dedicated key geoheritage area allows us to focus explicitly on those geoheritage elements and to be able to recognise them for what they are and for their right to exist.
Yes, I don't know how, if you've travelled a lot through Korea, but we have a lot of natural monuments in Korea, a lot that people go and visit, and I think the conservation of that is extremely important indeed. But as the host of this year's World Heritage Committee session, Korea has been placing even greater emphasis on heritage conservation. We've definitely seen it. We reported a lot in the show as well how important it is. What role do you think Korea can play in protecting World Heritage at the international level?
I think that Korea has demonstrated great proactive leadership in the World Heritage space. We are deeply indebted to the Administrator of Korea and to the Government of the Republic of Korea for helping and supporting us to be able to bring key geoheritage areas to life. Korea's leadership has enabled us to be able to come together as geoscientists and soil scientists and geoheritage conservationists around the world. We were able to travel to Busan just over 6 weeks ago and to look through some of your magnificent World Heritage and also UNESCO Global Geopark areas to explore and to see that potential on the ground. I think the area that Korea shows real leadership is in the interpretation and ways in which you are trying to show heritage to society at large in a way that maybe other countries don't do so much. And I feel that Jeju Island, which is going to be the area that will situate an office, as I understand, for key geoheritage areas, provides that really strong focus and really highlights geoheritage in a nutshell. It shows natural things, the volcanic landscapes. It shows the use of geoheritage through the soils and the agricultural livelihoods. And it also shows that people can live inside nature and coexist with it.
Dr. McHenry, before we go to the final question, just very quickly, is there one particular Korean heritage site that has captured your interest?
At the moment, it is Jeju Island. I have to say that's my favourite. However, I am here for a few days now. It's my second trip to Korea in 2 months, and I plan to be back again. I've fallen in love with Korea, so this is going to be my next exploration. I plan to travel to every geopark in Korea and every national park and World Heritage Area in Korea in the next year.
Yes, Jeju indeed is beautiful. And finally, let's go back to Busan. What is the one message that you would like to come out from the Busan committee session?
I think that people sometimes can mistake World Heritage Areas as a place that is shut off. We've put a fence around it. It's an area that is there because it's special and there's nothing else. Those World Heritage Areas there are our legacy of the past, but they're also our protection for the future. In a changing climate and with population growth and change, so these World Heritage Areas will be our legacy to the earth. So they are deeply important, and they are important for many benefits, but also just the benefits of being able to show what we can provide for the future.
Of course. Thank you very much, Dr. McHenry, for sharing your
pleasure.
expertise. It was a fascinating talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. And thank you, Walter. We're going to have you back soon.
See you soon.
Thanks for watching and your interest in everything K-culture. Please tune in again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Korea time. Keep diving.